What's going on, guys? Sorry for being slightly late. I just got done watching a video, and then the puppies needed to go outside. So, puppies went outside, um, and now they're back, and now I'm ready. Ready to say goodbye to the Mentalist. Fantastic show. Basically, how these go is I'll be going for like, I don't know, like 2 hours basically. We just chat. Y'all ask me questions. We can talk about all sorts of things. Mentalist. I have my notes. That's one of the fun things that these things provide is I can pull out my notes of all the seasons, and we can go back and whatnot. And then, of course, very, very close to the end of these kind of live streams is where I'll just tell you kind of like what's coming up next. And yeah. The Mentalist is over, guys. What a great show, I'll tell you that. It was really fun to watch. It was something I didn't really know much about going into it. And then the idea of it and the concepts and all that was really fun. And having it being about a character, like a villain, an entire time throughout the show, and trying to figure out who it is and trying to stop them was really cool. I have not moved yet. No. I'm moving soon, though. That's why there's hardly anything in my room. But lots of chaos. Lots of crazy. But I'm never ready to say goodbye to the Mentalist. You and me both. So I haven't seen the Mentalist. But by the time I get around to watching it, I'll completely forget what he said. Just wanted to stop and say hi. Hello. Hello. It's a great show. You should watch it. But, well, so what was it? 13 seasons? Or 7 seasons? The last one was season 7, episode 13. Let's see. Yep. Wow. So when was that big episode? The big reveal was 608? Yeah. 608, 609, basically. So, I found it interesting that they solved the whole giant Red John issue and then went completely into, like, continued the show in a whole different, like, an aftermath, and it drastically changed. It really did. The show, like, changed the vibe. You could tell, like, pretty quickly. Hello, everybody. Just had to pop in and say, rookie. What did you think of Sam Bosco? He was annoying. I remember being annoyed by him, and then they killed him off. And I think he got kind of non-annoying in a brief moment, but the moment was so brief and then he was gone. It was just like, bang, gone. He was definitely annoying. He pissed me off. There was a lot of moments he was just like, I felt he was overstepping and not necessarily doing his job correctly. But then the whole reason he was killed off, right, was because he took over the case, but Red John wanted Jane and that team still on the case. So he was basically killed off. Simply for Jane to get back the case, if I remember correctly. there's the front. All right. I'm back to the front of the notes. Mentalist is still one of the best TV shows you've ever seen. Why so? What were y'all's great moments about it? Like, what if you had to highlight some peak moments throughout the show, what would you say yourself were some of the top, like, you instantly click back to it? And then on the flip side, excluding Jane, and I'm also going to throw out there and say excluding Lisbon, who were one or two of your favorite characters that weren't the main two? Haven't watched it, but I saw that you were live. Yes, welcome everybody, everyone who's in here who is not part of the Mentalist. I will say, be warned, because this is full on talking about a show if you haven't seen it. I'm so glad they continued. They gave me the happy ending feeling. Yes, that's true. I didn't expect it to continue so long, I guess. I like a whole nother season 7, which I'm not saying that it wasn't necessary. There's many shows that kind of wrap up and get the main point of the entire show over early, and then maybe they'll go to another season, and that season's like awful, and you look back at it and you're like, you probably didn't need that at all. But I don't think the Mentalist did that. They were able to continue telling a different story while it basically being over. So you were kind of getting, you got the feel of it. Yes, like it was, this is the final ride, and it was something different. Patrick Jane, greatest character of all time. He's really good. Cho, no doubt. Cho. Okay. Outside the main crew, I liked Walter. Walter Mashburn. Okay, yes. He was fun. Erica Flynn, great character. Great villain, great manipulator. When I realized that I really liked the show was at the end of the first season. I liked the season finale, of course. After that, it only picked up. There's so many great moments that I can't put my finger on my favorite. When it comes to my favorite side character, it has to be Kimball Cho. So Cho's getting a lot of love right now, which is understandable. Yeah, Walter, the billionaire guy. Yeah. JJ Roach and Bosco. You liked Bosco? Interesting. Oh, Grace. Look, we need to talk about how they just kind of vanished from the show. I would say that was, in my opinion, one of the lesser parts of the ending of that show, was that Van Pelt and Rigsby just, you know, they disappeared. They were gone for a while, and then they came back and they had like their final episode, which was a little I wasn't a fan of it, but they just like slowly were like faded away for characters who were there for 6 seasons basically. Like, it's pretty crazy that they just vanished. I liked Hafner. Oh. Yeah, he was a suspect, wasn't he? He was one of the. Ooh, were there 5 or 6? He put them all in a room. I don't remember how many there were. I want to say 5. But then again, I feel like there was another one like sitting on this corner. Who was it? It was Hafner. It was oh my gosh. Well, Red John was in there. It was the other agent. It was the leader. I'm drawing blanks on names right now. And there's another one. 5? I'm disappointed they didn't bring back the villain, Desmond from Lost. Oh, Ian Henry Cusick. I thought they wrapped up his story briefly or something like that. He was pushed away, and that actor's pretty popular, so there's a possibility they probably couldn't even get him back. Jane's your favorite character? Jane's a great character. They could have done more with him after Red John. That blonde girl that was chosen informant. Oh yeah, he sent her off, and I don't think we saw her again. Did we see her one more time after he was like, "All right, you gotta go. Like, get in your car or take a plane ticket, get out of here." Like, I do understand why I'm fine with how they wrote it off because they got their happy ending. I still do miss them in later parts of season 6 and in 7. Yeah, I get it. They got their happy ending. It's just I don't like the way that they got it. I'm just not. It didn't seem very realistic with what occurred in that whole episode with how he got shot. And he was, I don't know. I just didn't seem that could have been done better and in different ways. Found the whole Pedro Pascal and Lisbon dynamic a bit weird. Pedro! Him appearing in the show was shocking. But I think that was their way of saying, hey, here's one final little mess up, you know? Let's a little wrench in the plan and a little wrench in everyone's hopes of the whole Jane and Lisbon. So let's cause a little more chaos. I can't decide who I like better, Grace Van Pelt or Michelle Vega. Vega was there and gone. There and gone just like that. Which is okay because it was the final season and she made her appearance in the final season and then she was gone. So there wasn't much left you could do with her character. But she definitely made an impact pretty quickly, which is impressive. Is this not the right thing? Oh, that's not the right thing. Silly me. What show also did well was after the main Red John thing ended, they eased off into another season instead of ending everything in the next couple of episodes. Yeah, that is shocking though. A lot of shows don't do that. A lot of shows like to end something that big with the entirety of it, which was why it was different. The Mentalist over 12 Monkeys for me. I'm going to have to disagree with that, but Mentalist is a great show. It is not in my top 10. But it was a great show. I really enjoyed the whole Red John thing from the entire time. And they had you thinking, who is it? And are we ever going to see this person? And I think it was pretty incredible that and I don't know if they knew they wanted it to be him or not, but they chose somebody who you met literally like in the second episode of the entire show, which is brilliant. And as it went on, it made me start to think that we had already seen this guy. The question was, who is it? And they did a really good job making so many people suspicious. Even guys who like, and they had characters who were bad but weren't him. And then they had characters who seemed bad but weren't bad at all. So I mean, they really got you thinking with this whole, man, where are we going? Like, what is happening? I had no idea who Pedro Pascal was when I watched The Mentalist for the first time. Well, I would say after, was it Game of Thrones? I guess Game of Thrones. After Game of Thrones, he got popular. He got very popular. Now he's in everything. I wish we had seen Wiley sooner. Wiley was a great character. That's another one. Vega, Wiley, characters that made appearances and then were gone. And I don't know her name. The one that appeared with Jane when he went on the run and he was like in another country or something, and she got close with him and then tried to change his mind or something, or whatever she was trying to do. This is one of those things I find funny, and I'm kind of a nerd about it, but Pedro Pascal and her are both in Star Wars in the same show. And they're the same, they're Mandalorians. So I feel like a lot of people don't know that. They probably know Pedro Pascal's in the show, but that actress is she's one of the ones wearing the helmets. You never see her face, but that's her. So I always find that cool. She's also in Supernatural. Jane rounded up 5 suspects: Bertram, Stiles, Hafner, Smith, and McAllister. That's right. That is right. Do you remember Psychic, who was killed in 7/12 episode by last villain of the show? Before he died, he had said to Jane that number 3 would be significant for him soon, and then Lisbon became pregnant. Do you remember Psychic, who was killed in 7/12? 7/12. Let's see if I can remember. Jane killed Jane in the car. Later, Psychic here told Jane he will experience something with 3. Something with 3. Yeah. Fuck my body, 7 total, serial killer, Wiley, 8th kill, 9th kill, 10th kill. Oh yeah, it was a two-parter. It was a 2-part episode. So 7/11 and 7/12 were oh no, it was a 3-parter. Yeah. Okay, so the end. Yeah. I know what you're talking about. 11, 12, 13. Yeah, because he didn't die, or someone didn't die, and the killer actually didn't die in 12, and then he was alive, and then she was pregnant. Yeah. And it says, he told Jane he would experience something with 3. Do you think that's the pregnancy? That is a 3. Technically. Your Red John list was insane. Where is my Red John list? Is here somewhere. Oh wait, it might be at the very beginning. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. I had a long Red John list. Virgil, Bertram, Styles, McAllister, Nelson, Mashburn, LaRoche, some CBI agent named Ron, Ardelis, Volker. I think that's the guy you were talking about earlier. The guy who Henry Ian Kuzak. Kuzak. The guy who plays Desmond in Lost. That's Volker, I'm pretty sure. Molinari? I don't know who that is. And then Partridge? Brett Partridge? I don't know. Hafner. There were a lot of names I threw on there, and we eventually narrowed it down, and I crossed off a lot of guys. And then we had the final... with a bunch of little characteristics of possibilities of what this kind of profile of Red John was. When I watched the whole thing from start to finish for the first time, I expected not to like Abbott, but grew really fond of him. Especially the whole Rio Bravo storyline was great in my opinion. Abbott, yeah, I've seen Abbott in a lot of shows, that actor. Fisher. Top 10 favorite shows. I'll get to that in a second. If I forget, remind me. Hightower was a strong character. Yes. Just gotta say, loved your reactions to The Mentalist. Looking forward to a future series. Awesome. Lorelai. What about Lorelai? The Red John's little helper? When was the last time I updated this? May 31st, 2025. Alright, here are my top 10 shows of all time, personally. Personally, top 10 shows of all time. And I'll give you some honorable mentions that I absolutely love, but I won't put them in the top 10 because I don't think they're shows that are technically worthy. And then we'll get back on track. I don't think I like seeing him in everything. I also like J.J. LaRoche as a character. Initially came off very strong, but really fierce and investigative. He was a great character. And his little storyline about the thing that he kept in the Tupperware or whatever. And Jane didn't really know what it was. He pretended like he did. Alright, so we have, in order, from number 1 to number 10, we have Lost, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, 12 Monkeys, The Expanse, Prison Break, Criminal Minds, Black Sails, Vikings, and The Walking Dead. And honorable mentions are The Golden Girls, Solar Opposites, Rick and Morty, and Friends. Alright. Finding out LaRoche's secret. Yes. That was wild. That was wild. It is nuts that Jane got away with not 1 but 2 murders and nobody really talks about it. That's true. Jane just straight up just freaking killed people. He got away, and one of them he just straight up got. He finessed the jury or something. If I remember correctly. I didn't really care for Fisher. I mean, she wasn't in the show for that long. No, she wasn't. No, I don't think she did anything or was around long enough to really hold any sort of weight for me, personally. Like, I didn't hate it. I didn't hate her. I didn't like her, but, there wasn't really a issue with her kind of thing, so. Who is hotter for me? Lorelai or Erica Flynn? I don't know. They're both very beautiful. Are we talking like personality? Like person? Are we talking person or like just Who do I find more attractive? It's a difficult question. They're both beautiful. They're both not people I would want to be with. Because, they're not really good people. um if we have to talk about if it's character based, I don't think I could ever. Erica Flynn is the worst of the two. Like, I would never be with Erica Flynn because she's like just. I wouldn't ever believe if she's being honest with me or lying to me or what. I would never understand her because she's just straight up. She's all about herself all the time. So I couldn't do that. I would have to choose Lorelai. I don't remember her last name. One of my favorite episodes was where Jane sits in the mall after having killed who he thought was Red John. Oh, yes, yes. Where he sits there. Doesn't he just take a sip of something too? He's just sitting there like he starts reading the paper or whatever. He's just like. After having watched The Mentalist, where does it rank in your top shows? Oh gosh, I don't know. It's not top 10 obviously, but I would say I think it's top 20. Top 15, I don't know. I'd have to really think about it. Lorelai made one of the stupidest decisions on confronting Red John by herself. Yes. Her downfall. It is funny that you put Ron on your list, although I understand it. He was just a background character, but he was in the show. So exactly. No, that's why I thought. I was like, this guy, I don't know anything about him, but he's all over the place. He's always here. He always makes an appearance. He's a guy that you, like, what if that's Red John? Like, it's a guy that you just you notice, but you don't really look at the entire time. Jane killed 4 people in total. Yes, but weren't 4 people in total? Wasn't one self-defense? 1 or 2 were self-defense? I can't remember. Just want to thank you for doing the show. I grew up with it, watching it with my mom in German, and it's really nostalgic. Watched with you in English. Original voices are better. Of course, thank you. Hey, thank y'all for watching along the journey with me. I do have another question. I'll sprinkle these continuously throughout this entire time. But what is something about the show you wish you could change? Or you wish that they did differently? Is there anything that kind of sticks to you that you're like, I didn't really like how that played out, or I wish it would have done this or gone this route, or we saw more of this, or what would you have changed about something? Jane is a serial killer. Isn't a serial killer a pattern? Doesn't it have to be? I feel like there's more to the actual definition. One thing I feel like show could have done better was show the phobia when characters were introduced, not after we learned Red John has phobia, and all RJ suspects show their phobias after the fact. Okay. There's a site. Who is Red John? And top 3 are Brett Partridge, Thomas McAllister, and Patrick Jane. That would have been insane. Could you imagine if at the end of this entire thing, Red John is just Jane's split personality? Like he blacks out sometimes and he just becomes Red John. It would have been crazy. Oh, I don't think I could give you my top 20 favorite shows. We'd be here for a while. Just based on me trying to think of them. I don't. I think technically serial killers have to have a pattern. I think they have to have a unique thing or a specific victim. There's normally something more detailed than just killing somebody. For most serial killers. Because I don't think like you rob a store and you kill somebody and then you go and you rob another store and you kill somebody. I don't think that makes you a serial killer. I wouldn't classify Jane as a serial killer. One of the one at the end of season 1, saving Lisbon. One at the end of season 3, the fake Red John, and 2 at season 6, RJ and Oscar. More of Cho and maybe Summer. I wish Thomas McAllister was shown more often or just more involved, because it was assumed that Red John is a high level law officer but was just a tiny sheriff. There's no name town. Yeah, but that's still high level. High level doesn't necessarily mean like he's a FBI agent, cuz high level, a sheriff is still high level. A sheriff is still a major level of law enforcement. It's just for a more condensed area. I never liked McAllister as Red John. Really? Who do you think should have been Red John? There was a theory flying around that Jane was Red John. That would have been insane. I would have lost it. I would probably like I probably wouldn't have been able to speak. You know? I don't think I could speak at all. Like, there definitely would have been plot holes, I think. Unless, oh, I don't know. That would have been difficult to do. Yeah. The show could have more characters like Bosco in terms of forcing Rajan to react in panic, because apart from Bosco, Jane was the only one that cornered Rajan. Okay, so it's, we got some slight changes here, like some slight wishes and do something different, not too drastic, or add like characters. The fake Red John and Red John both had similar traits, and so Jane thought fake Red John was the right person. Yeah, but that's not serial killer level. Serial killer is the intent to. I don't think that qualifies, but that the showrunners didn't know in the beginning who Red John was going to be. They made it up as they went. I don't know if that is true. I mean, they probably were winging it until they got to a point, and then they were like, well, let's go back and look at what we've done so far and let's piece that together in some way. I think McAllister was the perfect pick. I couldn't be anyone who Jan ran a scam on for several years like Bertram. That's fair. Um, yeah, I don't know. I thought it was a solid option, but I was also sitting there thinking it could have been either one of those other two guys too. I think it narrowed down. I liked the McAllister pick because I thought that fit Red John more as far as what I was given. Like the seasons and seasons of hints and details and how Red John always hid himself and was always steps ahead and was always smart and always kind of put himself in a situation to where you probably didn't think it was this person or you didn't know what was going to happen. That fit McAllister more than it fit any of the other guys that were there. Because he was just under the radar. He wasn't someone you really looked at. And he had the ability to disappear. He had the ability to appear and whatnot without drawing enough attention. Jane being Red John would have been a great twist. That would have been insane. Looking back, I definitely don't think they set that up well enough though to actually go down that route. So I think shock wise it would have been incredible, but I think when you actually sit down and looked at all the details or probably rewatched, I don't think it would make sense. The beginning of season 6 was a bit rushed, especially watching it as it aired. Getting multiple big breaks in the Red John case back to back. That's fair. I can agree with you on that one. It did seem rushed, and they wrapped it up in 8 episodes? And season 6 was how many? Season 6 was 22 episodes, and they wrapped the Red John up in 8. So that, I mean, I do think that was rushed, but then again, it was 6 seasons, basically, 5 and almost a half seasons of Red John. So, I guess it could go both ways. Bertram could have been a good Red John, but maybe that would have been too predictable. I think that would have been too predictable. I liked the way that they did him. And I also liked that he was bad. Like, he was a villain. So, because you could tell something was up with him, and I don't think Red John presents to that easily. Be like, this guy might be bad. Like, something could be wrong with this guy. And I like that he was basically framed. I agree with that as well. I would like to have seen more Cho's story. I think could have been Bertram, but McAllister fit better. It was a great twist that it wasn't Bertram. Yeah, I remember when we went into episode 8 and they were going after Bertram. And I was like, man, I'm really surprised it's him because I thought that would have been too easy. So I was sitting here damn. But then, yet again, the show with a twist. If Manelli had turned out to be Red John, would it have surprised you? He could have taken retirement just to get off of this suspect radar. Manelli. Oh, the name is not fitting the I don't have a visual. Manelli. I need a pic. Oh, Virgil. That's why I don't call him. I don't call him Manelli. Um, yeah, that would have surprised me, but also I don't think he fit. I don't think he fit the profile. So it definitely would have surprised me because I think there was a couple things with his character, which is why I eliminated. Is because I don't think there were some alarming parts about him that screamed, "This guy's not Red John." I don't remember specifically what they were, but yeah, so yeah, it definitely would have surprised me. One thing I liked was the three dot society, which meant Red John didn't have to do everything himself. Yeah, he also had guys who were so deeply loyal to him, and that always helps when you're doing something like that. And that just adds to the control. It adds to the power. Best character I would have loved to have way more time with is Brett Styles. We got a lot of Brett Styles though. You wanted more? There were I feel like there was like a Brett Styles episode like almost every season. Maybe even two. Have you seen five actors of main team in the other shows or movies? I've seen Cho, I think. I think Cho made an appearance in Criminal Minds. Um, Teresa Lisbon. I've seen her in another. Actually, I saw her in a different show prior to The Mentalist. So I knew her from the other show, from Prison Break. Actually, that like every time someone, if someone shows me a picture of her, I go to Prison Break. I don't go to The Mentalist, even though she was a bigger character on The Mentalist. Prison Break is a very close show. I love Prison Break. I think that's it. I don't think I've seen anyone else. I've seen this will be funny. I've seen Jane. What's his name? What's the actor's name? Shit. This is funny though, and I'm not joking. I've seen him somewhere else. It wasn't on a movie. It wasn't in a TV show. He is on the back of a Playboy magazine. I am not joking. It's pretty crazy. I don't know what year it is. I don't know much else about it except that he's on the back. He's on the back cover of a Playboy magazine. And I remember that because I had to double take and I'd be like, what? Is that who I think it is? Did you like the new Young Boss? Yes, the one that died? He was pretty good. The fact that Red John had a society explains so much, and it adds to the fact that how terrifying it is that he, yes, exactly, he had power. He had so much power, and he had so many people with him, and that's the thing. All those people were so afraid of him. They were so controlled by him, and they didn't know him. They didn't know who he was. They didn't, and it was that's a level of fear and that's a level of loyalty that you're able to get people to do that. You got power. You got a lot of power. Pretty Little Liars starts early access next week. No. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No. I'll get to what starts next. Actually, what the show that started after The Mentalist was actually 911. So, that is not true. Pretty Little Liars is starting soon, but it's not because of The Mentalist. We are delayed on posting because of copyright and all that stuff. So, I can only thank two things for my profiling: Criminal Minds and my own personal research. So, because of watching Criminal Minds, I got so into profiling that I've read articles and done research and watched videos on even more about it. So, it's pretty cool. And it's a TV show, so it doesn't necessarily always follow profiling, but I do my best. And TV shows like to be somewhat you could predict. Most of the time you can. Simon Baker. Oh, that's right, yeah. In season 3, after Jane's false kidnapping by Hightower, quotes William Blake and LaRoche, it means they probably knew at season 3 that it would be bad. I didn't know that. Nice catch. That's pretty good. All right, let's get back to another question. I got more questions for y'all. What? That's the wrong show. There we go. What is a villain? And I'm gonna lower this as well. What is one of your favorite villains on the entire show? And it can't be Red John. And I'm going to go ahead because her name was already mentioned a couple times. It can't be Erica Flynn. What are you doing, Looney? So I'm eliminating 2 options. Give me someone else. Another thing the show could have done better. Sprinkle clues about Red John throughout multiple seasons, but we got age 3 and phobia all in season 5. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I can agree and also see why maybe not, because I get what you're saying with the whole sprinkle more, because you'll drag out, and whatnot. But if you do it the way they did it, it added more of a, man, are we ever going to catch this guy? And man, he's really good. So I feel like it added more to the chaos of what was Red John. While also, I think, yeah, adding more could have done a lot and could have been better. Wasn't great. Volker. All right. I love that actor. I've met that actor. I have a picture with that actor. He's cool. He's one of my Lost buddies. I'm a huge Lost fan, but he was. It was cool seeing him. I'll tell you that. Seeing him appear on the show was really cool. Is there a actor, or this kind of just popped in my head. Is there an actor from the show that was a guest star or made a regular appearance or something that you know of from a different show and you were just a fan of them? So it was really cool seeing that actor or actress or whatnot. No, I don't think they knew who Red John was going to be at the beginning. I think they adapted. I think they adapted and took what they had already done, and maybe that helped them kind of figure out. Also, I'll say this: it doesn't help that the person who was actually Red John, he's a villain a lot, and I've seen him a lot. I forgot to plug up my battery. Sorry, I'm back. Richard Highback. Oh. Ooh. Great villain, the fake Red John, where his wife and he had a girl chained up in the cellar. Ah, yes, yes. That was awesome. Not the fact that like some innocent woman was chained up in a cellar, but the fact that it just added so much levels to the entire thing. And it showed a lot of loyalty. That was certainly cool. Hank, Breaking Bad. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I forgot about that. He was in the show. That's true. Lisbon, Prison Break. Yep. I love tie-ins. Like when you can see actors from other shows that were really big and they just come make an appearance on a different one. You're like, hey, that person. You can't remember his name, but you remember he was in Captain America. Oh, I don't know. Was he in the show multiple times? The smiley face reveal on the barn is probably my favorite smiley face moment. Oh, where it's behind him. Yeah, and you're like, oh. Everyone in the audience sees what the hell's going on, and then Jane has to turn around. Like, oh my god. Rebecca as a villain. That was good. That was a good one too. That was also a twist. I don't think I fully saw that one coming at all. The guy who was murdering with his wife in that one episode, he's Cam in Modern Family. Ooh, I haven't seen Modern Family. Yeah. Yeah, so I went to The Mentalist. Well, that actor, I don't. Again, that's another one of those. I've seen that actor in a lot of shows now, but I know him from Prison Break. Abbott. So him and Lisbon were on the same show in Prison Break, and after The Mentalist was over, I started 911. So then it went from Abbott to, man, what was his name in? I don't remember his name. In 911. Mike? Michael? Michael? Oh, that might be right. So many, watching so many shows and so many different characters, and then when it's the same damn actor in different shows and they have different names. Um, so then not yeah. So then immediately I just saw him again in 911. So. What do you think about the blind woman that had a relationship with Red John and Patrick kind of used her to find Roy Taliaferro, his fake name? Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I thought about it. I don't really think I thought much into it. It was more of those moments that, like, well, it's a Red John connection. I don't know. It was helpful, but then I didn't know if she would be loyal, extra loyal to him, and then not. I don't know. I don't really think I dove too deeply about it. Abbott was in Prison Break, yeah. Have seen Cho in the show Magnum PI. I'm pretty sure Cho was in a Criminal Minds episode. What changes would you make to The Mentalist if you could? Can be anything. Adding character, changing plot, etc. Well, mine's gonna be something y'all aren't gonna like. I like heartbreak and pain in storytelling, and I think Rigsby should have died. I think Rigsby should have died easily. And I would have done it in that final episode that they were in. The worst when you have the same actor playing the same kind of role in a similar show, kind of like what happened with the girl from 911 that was in Station 19. Oh, yeah, God. Christina Fry. Fry or Frey? Christina Fry or Frey? Is it Fry? I don't know. There's so many characters in the show. And it really took you on this mental journey. It took you on a mental roller coaster about everything that was going on. It was like this, and then that, and then a sprinkle of other chaos in between. What is oh my gosh, what is her name? The woman, blonde hair, blue eyes, really pretty. I think she was Jane's therapist. I think. I think I'm on the right track. She's an Angel, the TV show Angel that I'm watching. My top 3 police shows, I have no idea. Criminal Minds definitely is one. What do you think about the psychic lady that Red John killed? Her mind. Oh yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that one. That was. I was always I was always with Jane when it came to the the whole psychic stuff. Like I don't buy into it. But your top 3 police shows? I don't know. It's definitely Criminal Minds is one. I might can put the Mentalist might be up there. I haven't watched that many police shows, I don't think. Well, I guess you technically have. Did someone say Grimm? Technically, I guess that is a police show, but I don't think I would call it a police show. I feel like that's supernatural with police involvement. Oh, it was the biggest watching every season, and then we get close to finding out Red John, and then they pull it away, and it's like, no, you're not even close. So irritating. It was so irritating. Because you're sitting there, and you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. We're getting close. We're getting close. We're about to find something out. And then he's like, nah, screw you. You're nowhere close. On to the next season. Do it again. Oh! Lost is my number as well. Cool that you've seen the actor. Is he your favorite character from Lost or someone else? My favorite character from Lost is John Locke. I think. He's one. Desmond's up there. Desmond might be it. I don't know. It's hard. It's really hard to pick a favorite character from a show where you think it is absolute perfection and every character in it you think is great. So, but I have met him in real life, Ian Henry Kuzak. He's pretty cool. Sophie Miller, was that her name in the show, or is that her actress's name? Yeah, she's an angel. Yeah. Do you think Jane will continue to be an investigator, or will he leave the FBI? Well, we're never gonna know. So I'm gonna say, what do you want him to do? And leave it up to you. Nah, screw it. No, I think he'll, honestly, I think he's done. I think him and Lisbon are done. I think they're gonna live life in peace. Yeah, the episode with Rigsby getting shot was just not. It's like, nah, you should have died. I wish we had a chance to see more of the fallout from Vega's death, like the effect on Cho and Wiley. That, I agree as well. We didn't get that. I think they had time to kind of show it, but we didn't get it. What about Castle or Bones? Castle and Bones are police, I would say. Bones lesser than. Castle, yes. Castle might have to be in my top 3 if I had to pick one. No. I will let everyone know this. I try to do it as much as possible. If a show ever gets posted on YouTube, the entire thing will get posted. If it's not being posted, something's wrong. We'll get back to it eventually. If you see one episode of anything uploaded on this channel, the entire thing is being watched. I do not post anything on YouTube that does not fully get posted. Or does not get fully watched. Not getting posted, that might be a different story because there's issues that I might not be able to fix, but most of the time we can fix them. So just want to put that out there. It's a regularly asked question, and whenever it pops up, I need to make sure that as many people know as possible. I didn't like Partridge as Red John. I didn't. I mean, he was creepy and whatnot, but I don't think he was anywhere close to fitting the profile. Like I think he was too obviously not Red John. And didn't Red John kill him? Red John killed him, right? And took Lisbon. That was the what occurred. Number 3 is solving PJ's problems. PJ problem? Psychic said in the last episode. Do you think they should have kept Red John going for one more season so they could do 8 seasons instead of 7? No. Why? Wait, why? Do you have like a... I need more explanation behind that. Is Bones one of your favorite police shows? No. No. Out for a while, I regularly, just because I watched them at the same time and they kind of had like similar themes and similar trajectories, was Castle, Bones, and The Mentalist. Out of the 3 of them, Bones is in last. Do you want it? Would you want it to reach 10? Just because that's like a decade? Castle is my favorite, and then The Mentalist and Psych are... I hate when shows end, that's all. Oh. Everything's got to come to an end eventually. No, because if you drag it out too long, it'll mess up. It'll definitely mess up. Like, if a show drags out too long. I think you were getting right there on the cusp of this whole Red John thing needs to end. I think if it went another 2 seasons, it'd be like, bro. When are we ever going to figure it out? I would be fine if Red John hit, like, they figured out who Red John was, and then it was like this whole he's on the run, they know him, blah blah blah, and that continued on for a little while, and it was focused more on that. I'd be fine with that. But it needed to wrap up sooner than later. Like, Bones went on way too long. Bones went on for 12 seasons. That's too long for that show. Because it started to get like, Like, what are you doing? Why are you still doing it? So I think The Mentalist was pretty solid. I think they did it long enough. Do you understand about that, number 3? I've had many throughout this conversation here. We've had many things, but I don't. Do explain it to me as if I don't know anything. Because I know there is a number 3, but there's like the psychic guy said something about the number 3, blah blah blah. And I guess what I'm saying is I'm having multiple people tell me different things about what their interpretation of that is. Did you enjoy the idea of the episode where Patrick was pretending to date 10 drug boss women? You know, the one where they have dinner on the boat and it got close to Jane being shot, I think. Jane being shot. Jane being shot. End of season 6, you say? I think what's knocking me off about that is pretending to date 10 drug boss women. That's not clicking at all. A boat and Jane getting close to being shot, that's clicking a little more than anything. I just don't. The end of season 6. I don't know. Well, if he almost got shot, that means he didn't get shot, right? So I probably wouldn't have written that down. I know Logan has seen the whole show, but a lot of people watch along with him, so we like to keep it spoiler free for them. Where? Not here. Here doesn't have to be spoiler free. Obviously, the show's over. But unless you're talking about other shows, this is supposed to be just The Mentalist. But how many shows are coming to an end? I don't know. Depends on your interpretation of that. I'm gonna get to a lot of that stuff at the end of this. Like, we'll take, like, the last 5 minutes to, like, briefly talk about what's coming up. I'm trying to figure that out. The end of season 6, Lisbon pregnant from being a couple to 3 people with a baby. Yeah, that's what's been the main interpretation of that. I normally watch behind the scenes and blooper stuff on my own. I have another channel though, so I think I'm gonna just start reacting to it on that channel, not on this one. So you can go check that out. The channel's in the. It's out there. You can go follow it. I haven't done much on it recently because chaos, but it will be kicking back up again. Even if they went into chasing Red John kind of plot, I feel like it should be wrapped within season 6. Yeah. Like, I would have been perfectly fine with doing the rest of season 6 or maybe 8 more episodes of chasing Red John. And then the rest were what they did. You know? Is Red John in top 10 villains for you? Maybe. I think he would be towards the end. He's a good villain, but the problem with him is you don't really witness him. You know, he's not really on your screen. So it's hard to be a good villain visually, like as a TV show character, when you're not there. You know? You're just you're there, but you're not there. Tiger. Yeah, that's true. She could have twins. It could be a family of four. I don't know. I three being them two and a kid. I guess that makes sense. Yeah. Were you satisfied with the pacing of the Red John story arc? Too quick or too late or natural culmination? I I think it worked. I could have seen it quicker. Like I said earlier, I think the show got right up to the point of it taking too long, like right there. But I don't think they got there. So I'm fine with it. I would have been fine with it if it was earlier. I would have been fine with it if it was maybe just a little later. But not shot, but almost. Yeah, sorry, I meant the drug boss woman, not 10. Oh, okay. I think I know what you're talking about. There's a couple episodes here at the end of season 6 I was just reading my notes on, and I think definitely one of them could be it. Could it be 620 or 619? Well, I don't have any. Well, never mind. You said drugs. No, no, no. I don't think I have drugs in any of these. At least I didn't write down drugs. I don't know. 5D agents were killed in Corpus Christi. I think I know what you're talking about. I just don't know what episode it is. Oh, here it is. 611. I found it. I was looking. I was not. It was not the end of season 6. It was halfway through season 6. Season 6, episode 11. 5D agents killed. There's a hired gunman. There's a gang, cartel, Mr. X. I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, I'll probably watch some behind the scenes stuff and bloopers and whatnot. I haven't gotten there yet, but next year I'm moving. I'm in the moving process. I'm about to be moved out of this place, literally in like less than 3 weeks. So I am trying to do that. I'm trying to wrap up recording with a bunch of stuff before Christmas, so then I have extra time to maybe work on my other channel and get some videos of that worked on, and then maybe start uploading in between my moving process, so then when I get there I can keep going, if that makes sense. And the channel's name is just my name. You can go in the description of every video, or you can go to the home page on my YouTube channel and find the other channel. I'll do a lot of music on that channel. I'll do a lot of behind the scenes stuff, bloopers and whatnot of shows that I've watched on this channel, some that I haven't seen from shows that I've been done with, and I will go and watch other random videos and all this other stuff. So you can get a dabble of a lot of different styles of me on that channel. If there were a spin-off of the show showing different perspectives, whose perspective would you watch up from apart from Red John's? Ooh. Lorelai? Is her last name Martin? Lorelai Martin? Is that it? Ray Hafner is the true victim of the show. Yeah. Yeah. Dude just. Dude was not even a villain. Just. Poor guy. Season 2, Episode 8 is your favorite episode of the entire series. Let's see. Oh, that's when a doctor killed. His body was frozen. The CVI was attacked. The Red John team killed. Right? Is that Bosco? And then that's when Virgil, Bosco died and Virgil retired. My favorite episode? Oh gosh. There's a couple that kind of pop into my head. I couldn't give you the number. I mean, there's a couple of obviously the whole Red John stuff going down where they're all kind of gathered. I like that one. That was pretty fun and all over the place. The one where the younger boss dies because they shoot up the car and he was in the back, tied up, so they accidentally killed him, thinking it was Red John. That one was intense. There's probably some in between that I can't specifically remember, but Jane was all like, he was on it, like he was cooking with his nonsense more than usual. I'm going to a different city. Do you find it also a bit wired or weird? Weird, let's see. That we never saw Jane's wife. We saw his daughter once or twice, but never his wife. Yeah, that's fair. We never saw what she looked like, I guess, yeah. His wife was, or not wife, his daughter, the older version of his daughter, that was Dove Cameron, wasn't it? The actress? She was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. briefly, I believe. I don't think I've seen her anywhere else, though. I'm trying to think. Maybe I have seen her somewhere else. The gambling one. Well, so yeah, the casinos and whatnot, you're not supposed to count cards. Because counting cards is something most people can't do. Whether you think that should be illegal or not, I guess, is up for debate. But if they know you can do it, they're gonna kick you out. The number 3 could signify the three-legged dog which Jane sees at the same location where he later sees the house, which he decides to buy for his future wife, Lisbeth. That could be it, too. We saw the wife in 1-2 in a memory. That was way too long ago. I don't remember that, but that's why I have y'all. I have seen her mainly in Disney stuff. I watched her show Liv and Maddie and in a few movies. Okay, yeah. Dove Cameron. Crazy question. I don't know. Which episode did you think they conceived their baby? I don't know. Towards the end. She's probably what? Not that far along. I don't know. Episode 9. I can't even believe that that's their name, Jizbin. That's a wild. That's a wild ship name. Romance or bromance? I don't. I think Cho and Rigsby were solid, but I've seen better. I've seen better bromances, respectfully. They were good. They were good. But I think I've seen better ones. The number 3 thing. Because the psychic said it, Jane started to notice it and thought about it. Same with Cho kneeling in front of the beast. You don't notice many things around until you look for it. That's true. Yeah, I think it's better. I think it's better than I think it's up for interpretation, and it could be that, or it could be the dog. I don't know. I think a lot of things are up. I like the dog. The dog one's pretty solid. It'll come to you in threes. It's a dog finding the future home. That's pretty solid. It also could be the baby. I don't know. I don't know. What do I think of Pike? Pike. Pike. That's not even ringing a bell. Actually, you know what that does for me? Pike makes me think of the 100. Oh my god, I just typed in the 100. Jeez. Oh. We've been calling him Pedro this entire time. I don't. I didn't have much of a thought with that because I didn't think it was anything extensive. I think that relationship and his character was there as a bridge to what was to come. That's just that's a terrible shipping name. It's a horrendous shipping name. Rigsby when he gets high. I remember that. Yeah. Better than Schofield and Sucre. Bromance? Yeah, I get. Well, it's probably the same. I'd say it's similar. I guess. I don't know. But then again, I don't think that's a good. We're not here for that show, but I don't think that's a good comparison. I think it would be. I don't think the bromance was there on that show. I guess is what I'm saying. There's so many threes. Maybe it was just about everything would be threes. Everything would come in threes. I don't know. Maybe we're thinking too deeply about it and it's not just one specific thing. Did you think the whole Van Pelt and Rigsby, will and won't, and sneaking around added to the show? I'm not sure. I think it's good they ended up together, but in the early seasons, it's a bit unnecessary. I think to a point, yeah, it got annoying. I think to a point it got a little unnecessary, but at overall, I think there was a good yes, no realism there. And then I think it just kind of dragged a little too far. They're one of those that I think it was pretty obvious they were going to be together regardless. You mentioned Craig O'Loughlin as a suspect multiple episodes even before his revelation. What tipped you off? I don't know. That's a very... tipped me off about what? A suspect as in what? Like a Red John suspect or a... He's a bad guy suspect. He seemed very bad. He didn't seem trustworthy. And there were certainly moments which I can't... That was such a very brief character and a very brief and not significant, at least long term, that I definitely don't remember details of what would have done it. But I don't know. I do know that there were certainly moments where either an interaction with somebody else or just the way he would appear somewhere or know something that was sketchy. He was very red flaggy, honestly, probably from the beginning. It was just something like he was off. I know that for sure. I don't know a specific thing that was like, hands down, this guy is bad. I don't remember that. When did I finish this show? I don't know if I can find that out or not. Oh, I can. Duh. My app. There's an app for that. Wow. A long time ago, let me tell you that. I watched season 7, episode 13 on February 12th. See how many delays occur between where I watch something and when it gets posted to YouTube, because YouTube is such a pain in the ass. Rigsby's baby completely threw me off the Rigspelt arc for a while. Did you ever anticipate Blake Association being back in season 6 or 7 in Austin? No, yes, I guess. I don't think it was one of those where, oh yeah, they're definitely coming back. I think it was one of those where I could see them returning if they did, and I wouldn't expect it, but if they did, I wouldn't be like, oh wow, shock. Like, makes sense. What do you write in your notes? All sorts of things. I try to do details on what's occurring in the episode. Important things that happen. Important details that happen. Sometimes if I don't like the episode, I'll write, this episode is terrible. I don't think I've done that for The Mentalist, but yeah, all sorts of things. I mean, this episode starts with they want a this is where Cho was wanted on a case for a personal, and it's his own gang, his old gang. They were like brothers to the Iceman or the Iceman, I don't know. Cho's attacked, his girlfriend was attacked, there's $5K in cocaine, account numbers, financial, blah, blah, blah. You know, like, it's just, it's little things that if I have to go back and be, because I watched so many shows at one time, if I have to go back and I have to try to do a little quick refresh, or I can't remember a specific thing that might have just happened, I have enough there to be like, oh, okay, yeah. So that's what happened. So that's where we're at, and that occurred in that episode, and then I can be like, all right, so where could they be going? Season 6 and 7, they, in my opinion, did go full out and explain the blacked out list of names. I would have loved to see how that goes, as Reggion had loads of followers. Yeah, that would have been cool to like kind of just take down everybody. Oh, we took down the boss, so now let's just continue taking down everybody else. The lawyer girl. Was that who he was with first? Or are you talking about someone else? I don't think I fully remember that. No, again, I think I mentioned this briefly earlier. Partridge seemed too him. Like it seemed too easy to be him. And then I also felt like he couldn't be. And well, no, that's not what I said. I said Partridge. I caught myself. Partridge was too easily not him. Other way around. Not that. He just didn't fit a lot of things. And he was creepy and he was strange, but he was just too easily not him. Like he wasn't high up on anything. He wasn't even really relevant. He was too awkward in moments, and he was too whatnot to be Reggion. I don't think he was smart either. He definitely showed like a lack of intelligence, or lack of social intelligence. He had a child with her. I think I'm remembering. Well, see, that's the thing with Cho and with a lot of some like other characters. They didn't really dive too deeply into relationships. Like you have the memorable ones, but then when they do like little tiny things and whatnot, and you're like, it's not memorable. What did you say, 620? Did you enjoy the episode where Jane was on trial for Reggion's murder to flesh out a corrupt AD? Oh, yeah. 620, yep. Was that 620? Oh, yeah. On trial to find corrupt prosecutor. Yeah, that's when Jane wanted a mob hit on him. Which is crazy. All right, any final other questions? I mean, we're getting a little close to the end of this discussion. I'll take, obviously, any other Reggion questions or hypotheticals. I'm going to hit y'all with one more. And I'll take anything else you'll need. And then we'll wrap this up, and I'll talk a little bit about what's coming up next. Considering your interest in profiling, where would you rate Jane as a profiler? I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a great profiler. I just do what things give me, and it might be easier with shows than it is actual people, like real people, because shows sprinkle in those things. You just have to see them, because they're visually showing you something. He's good. I think he's missing a lot of things, and I think he has a lot of bias towards people in general that kind of skews genuine profiling. Rigsby should have died when he got shot. He hands down should have died when he got shot. Hands down should have died. Not even a question. On top of that, ignore the dying part. He shouldn't have been able to get up and do what he did after being shot like that, regardless. Dang, what was the question I was going to ask y'all? Oh, if you had to kill off one member of the main team, the 5, you had to kill one of them off, who would it be? Can you elaborate on the kind of bias Jane has? Well, okay, when I say bias, I think I mean he has past experience and emotional ties in a lot of these scenarios, and he judges people very quickly that might hurt a profiling standpoint. Because when it comes to, there's been multiple moments, like he'll have and I'm not saying it's wrong to have a strict or whatever opinion on whoever they're going after, or whatever kind of person did something, and he's very more emotional and blunt on that, whereas profiling, you kind of need to look at details of a person, not opinions of a person. And I think he looks more of opinions on a lot of people than he does actions and possibilities of what could occur from a person, if that makes sense. Like, you look at, I would say watch Criminal Minds and like look at the way that they handle a suspect compared to how Jane handles a suspect, and you can see like he does it a lot more emotionally, and they don't. All right. Oh, here we go. Rigsby, Van Pelt, Lisbon, Rigsby, Van Pelt. Dang, poor Van Pelt. Getting Van Pelted right now. Rigsby. Van Pelt. Rigsby. Okay, Van Pelt and Rigsby. My God. Kirkland was a good. Kirkland was a good one. He was a good like counter. Rigsby. Jane. What? We have one Jane and one Lisbon. Or do we have two Lisbons? I can't remember. I think we have one Jane and one Lisbon. See, that's okay. So those who said Jane or Lisbon, why? Because those are the rare. Those are the rarer ones. No one said Cho. True. They wanted the show to end early. Joe? Who is Joe? Oh, do you mean Cho? See, now I feel like you're just saying Cho to be different. Why not a heartbreak at the series finale? Hey, that's fair. Hey, I like stuff like that. At the end of the show, Jane kind of like a final send off. I don't know, just a thought. Oh no, that's bad. That's not bad. So that's the same thing as what the other person. Okay, so y'all are on the same track. You just chose Lisbon and one chose Jane as like a finale heartbreak at the end of the series. I can get behind that. I mean, I'm not sure in this specific point, but I do like I am a huge fan of heartbreaks. I'm a huge fan of sadness in shows and whatnot, and so I can respect. Expressionless. The more I think about it, Jane being Red John would have been a cool twist, like in the final episode, and him walking away so like he never got caught. That'd be jaw dropping, absolutely jaw dropping. Okay, the final like 5-10 minutes of this whatnot. I'll just take any questions and all that you have about watching or what's coming up or whatever quick questions you have. And then we'll call it. Right now, I can tell you the watch list is pretty interesting. So a lot of people earlier said Pretty Little Liars is coming next. That's not true. Pretty Little Liars is not next on posting because this was a while ago. So the next show actually was 911 that came after this. 911's already started being posted. So when we go back through the thing, 911's already started. So the next shows on YouTube are actually coming in 3 weeks. That will be during the week of Christmas. Week of Christmas, you get 2 new shows. Isn't that awesome? Gilmore Girls and Revenge are starting the week of Christmas. So those are the next posting shows. After that, then Pretty Little Liars is starting. Pretty Little Liars is on deck to be starting watching. Not yet. We're not there yet because we need another show to end, which I think it's going to be 911. But 911's not fully ending. It's taking a break because, yeah. So, when are you going to watch Sherlock? I don't know. Sherlock is on the list. So, on the watch list, we have Pretty Little Liars, Chicago series, The Rookie, Smallville, Orphan Black, Friday Night Lights, Sherlock, How to Get Away with Murder, and I'm doing a Lost rewatch. So as of right now, Pretty Little Liars is on deck. It might be Orphan Black. It might be Friday Night Lights. I don't really know. I'd have to go look at my plans, and I might switch some plans, so it's just like a matter of whatnot. And then the Lost rewatch is going to come in somewhere. Chicago series is delayed because it's an NBC show. Unfortunately, NBC shows are nearly impossible to watch because I can't get YouTube won't let me post them. So instead of starting something that I can't get to you, I'm going to delay it until I can figure out how to do that. Can I say my top 10 again? My top 10 shows? Yes. Lost, Breaking Bad, Game of Thrones, 12 Monkeys, The Expanse, Prison Break, Criminal Minds, Black Sails, Vikings, The Walking Dead. And then if you wanted like comedy, like if you want comedy shows, I can recommend you some comedy shows. The Golden Girls, solid. Solar Opposites, solid. Rick and Morty, solid. Friends, solid. Most intimidating character on the show? Ooh. Most intimidating character on The Mentalist? I don't know. Every time I think, see, like, I keep saying that in my head, like, who's the most intimidating character? Bertram was pretty intimidating. I don't know if he's the most intimidating character, but he's all I can think of at the current moment. Show's definitely up there, too. Did you already start watching Fringe? I have not, no. So, that was the watch list. There's actually 2 lists on this show, on this channel. So, on the other list of shows, we have The Fosters, The Expanse, Breaking Bad, The Magicians, Fringe, Westworld, Colony, Lock and Key, Outer Banks, Mr. Robot, Stitchers, Yellowstone, Peaky Blinders, and The Last Ship. All of those shows are also being watched. The question is, those are different. Those shows occur in a different way. They're kind of, I call them bonus shows. So I watch those shows here and there as I'm watching everything else, and then when I'm done, we're going to compile them, get them together, and then post them. So I don't really have dates on them, but they're coming. So they're just kind of bonus thrown in there shows, and mostly because a lot of those shows, at least a lot of the other half of those shows, are not long. So I could kind of pop them out pretty decently. And I think 2 or 3 of them are about to be completely done, so that means they'll start getting posted soonish. Do you do comedy shows? Not really. I don't think I recall. I mean, I would, but they don't really get voted on. I don't even know when one made it. I have not watched Blind Spot. And I think someone asked me the app earlier. I don't remember if I answered that in my head or I answered that out loud. There's an app called TV Time. I use that app. You can actually follow me on that app, Simple Reactions. And I have a list of my top 10 shows of all time on there. I have it, so you can go and look at it. And I think you can see everything I watch. Like even movies and all my favorite movies. Like I have movies favorited. So you can go and see, if you're a movie person, you want to see what are Logan's favorite movies. Let me go see if I want to watch it and like any of those. So I have that as well, but it's called TV Time. It's a pretty cool app. You can keep track of everything you're watching through the entire show, and you can check mark it, and then you can go into it and you can look and see what other people think about it. Oh, not that one, because I haven't seen that episode. But So like you can go down here, and it's like everyone's comments about the episode, and you can rate the episode. You can do all sorts of things. It's a pretty cool app. I'm not sponsored by them, and you can keep track of how many hours you've done it, how many months you've done it, how many episodes you've watched, how many movies you've watched, all that stuff. It's pretty cool. You can see literally everything TV show wise and movie wise and watching wise on this app. It's pretty sick. I'm not sponsored by them, so I'm not sitting here being like, hey, go do it because they want me to tell you to do it. I'm literally just doing it as a fan of, and as someone who does this all the time. It's so much easier to navigate the world of entertainment with this app. Do you think at some point you would do the Marvel TV shows even if you already watched them? It would be... I don't think so. Just because that's stuff I normally do on my free time. And also I have other rewatch ideas already that I think y'all would like more than that, or that would be more popular or interesting than Marvel shows for me. Also, I'm all over the place with Marvel shows. I don't even know where I'm at. Is Lost worth watching? Yes, it 100% is worth watching, and I have no idea what From is. So I can't. Do you watch Mindhunter? I think you would love it. I don't. I do not. I haven't even heard that one, I don't think. Congratulations again on guessing who is Red John. Thank you. And thanks for that journey. Of course. Hey, Mentalist was awesome. You can see everything he watched in real time. Yes, everything I watch in real time. In fact, after this is over, I'm going to watch something else. So I don't stop. Back to work right after I hit end on this. Back to watching. Anybody can request a show, but not anybody can vote. Does that make sense? I leave voting up to those who care enough about the channel to go further with it. That's not saying that you don't care about the channel if you don't do it. It's just, it's more exclusive. It's more for people who are more ingrained in the channel than it is for just some like random Joe who says, oh, look, a poll, let me just randomly vote on it. If that makes sense. What are you doing? My little baby saying hi to everybody. I'll take a few final questions, any final things about any shows or anything like that before we wrap up. Probably like a couple more minutes. Do you watch British detective shows? I don't. I hardly watch anything outside of what I'm watching here. Unless it's Star Wars. Like Star Wars, Rick and Morty, or Marvel stuff. I don't really watch. I don't watch anything on my own. Or American Horror Story. I do watch that on my own. I haven't watched it in a long time though, so I think I'm like 2 or 3 seasons behind. What are you watching today? Gilmore Girls. I've already watched 3 or 4. I'm watching another. Do you see yourself rewatching Mentalist or maybe specific episodes? Possibly. If I had someone to watch it with on my own time, I could see myself doing that. I don't think it'll occur unless that happens. Just because of all the things I have to do. Can you do the UK Office at some point? If it gets voted on. I haven't even seen the regular Office. Or the other Office. The American Office. Yeah, go check out the website, simplereactions.com. It's brand new, guys. You can sign up for free on it and whatnot. What do you want? You just want to be pets. Say, I'm needy. You've been talking to them all this time and not me. Where do we request a show? Email or Instagram? No, neither, actually. Uh, Show requests will be a post. I will post about it. There actually will be a show request early next year. Not too early. It'll probably be maybe April. We'll have another go at it with a bunch of shows, and there'll be a post all in the community tab, or whatever you're like. If you're on the website, they'll be in the forum. If you're on Patreon, it'll be on a post. So they'll be out there. And you can be a Patreon for free. You don't really get anything, but you can be a Patreon for free. You can also be on the website for free. And obviously you can be on YouTube for free. But there are also upgradable options if you choose that. So, all right. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for watching. I don't currently have any plans to watch any of those shows, but if they are voted on, I would love to check them out. But yeah, thank y'all so much. Mentalist has been a fun journey, has been a fun ride, and I look forward to the next journey, the next new journey, I guess, for YouTube is Gilmore Girls and Revenge. So I hope some of y'all are fans of one of those shows. If not, maybe I can get you to become a fan. Revenge is really good, by the way. So if anyone's never seen Revenge, it's also not that long. So I'm just saying, you should go check it out. But thank you so much. Thank y'all. Y'all are amazing. And I will see y'all